Alright, boys and girls, this is Klaus from Team Hoshi Gumi, and today we're doing another deck profile. It's a top tier deck, and some of you guys have been waiting for it. And you know what? I think it's time to turn up the heat in the kitchen. If that doesn't give you enough clue on what this deck is gonna be, well, let's spice things up, Kagero style. Alright, let's get started with our grade 0 lineup. So, my grade 0 lineup is actually no, grade 0 lineup should be pretty generic. So you want your starter to be Conroe. Conroe is MVP starter. Skill is Counterblast 1, retire this unit, look into your deck for a grade 1 or less Kagero from deck and add it to your hand. Essentially, this will allow you to get your Stride Fodder, Conroe grade 1, heal trigger if you want to use the Now Griffin right away, or whatever you need to get. This baby boy would get it done. Use it generally first turn, because I recommend that because of the Link Joker matchups and Mirror Match Kagero matchups. And I don't know, like Suplex, aka Duplex Dragon Gear Chronicle will probably send this back. And worst case scenario, you can put this to the retire this, Counterblast 1, get a Gentling Claw out, Counterblast 1, retire your opponent's grade 0, like ASAP. Alright, so here's your starter. For the new heal trigger, the Dragon Dancer Tara. She's really good because she allows you to counter charge or soul charge, depending on however you want to do, whichever you want to use, by binding her when you G-Guard. I run 4 Gentling Claw right now, but I'm probably going to change this to 2 Gentling Claw and 2 Apoc Dragon, the stand trigger that allows you to activate skill by putting that into a soul, give a 3002 unit. That's what I would do. Followed by 4 generic crits, foiled up, and then 4 of the new crit. Now this Fire Chase Dragon, the key thing you want to notice is that it doesn't indicate which turn, it doesn't matter which turn a unit retired is, let me rephrase that. It does not matter which turn it is on an opponent's side of the rear guard that gets retired. If you change, you can change this up with Denial Griffin, Defeat Flurry Dragon, or during your turn. Doesn't matter. Perfect combo of this that I used against my opponent recently was when I Defeat Flurry the back row against Royal Paladin deck. Since Gancelot gave Bless Your Blade, resist, I used this Denial Griffin, Defeat Flurry the back row when the unit was being retired in the same column as this. Retired this, which allowed me to get rid of Bless Your Blade. Essentially, this will allow you to go around certain cards that says resist, because it says column, doesn't say select the target. Moving on to grade 1. I run 2 copies of the Lava Flow Dragon, because Stride Fodder, it's good, but you don't need more than 2 in this deck. Followed by the other Stride Fodder, I call it Stride Fodder, the Doombringer High Flame. High Flame skill essentially allows you to retire this unit during your beginning of your right phase as the cost to stride and stride without paying the cost, as long as the unit is Overlord. The G unit has to be Overlord, so you can't use it on Zygenberg. You cannot use it on fucking Dragma, because obviously you can, and you can't use it on any other thing but Overlord. So perfect for Purge, perfect for the Ace, and all that other crap. Moving on to the MVP of this deck, Conroe is so good. Conroe is good because of the fact that when you retire this unit, your Vanguard gains the ability to when it attacks, it countercharges 2 cards. Not only that, this is like the same thing as a Stride Fodder, but without having to call out your Stride Fodder. What I mean by that is when this is out, you can show an opponent a grade 3 Overlord. If you do, you can look for a deck for a grade 3 Overlord, add it to your hand. If you do, then pitch a card from your hand to the drop zone. And a broken effect that you could use is if you use Conroe skill on a restanding Vanguard, such as, let's say, the Legion or the freaking Zygenberg or the Ace, you can countercharge multiple times. It doesn't restrict you at 2. It doesn't say once per turn. Meaning, if you restand your Vanguard and attack again for the second time, you countercharge a total of 4 times. So it is really good. Essentially, this baby will set you up for Drachma. Followed by PG. Alright, now the PG, there's a whole different issue that you need to consider. Kagero is a counterblast heavy deck to a certain point, but you already have Conroe, so Protect Orb is not a necessity. It's a leisure, if anything. And if anything, I would recommend running Dumjid, aka Dumb Shit, because he is a PG, but you can use him as a regular guard. As long as there's another Dumjid in the drop zone, you can pitch it as one card by itself as a 15k blocker. So I would recommend running Dumjid to save you guys like shit ton of money, because these are going for like 20-25 bucks a pop. If not more, Dumjid's going for like $4. So you're saving a shit ton of money. $16 versus fucking $100+. Moving on to grade 2. Now, the grade 2 lineup is different from few people, but I think this is the ideal lineup that you can get right now. I run a playset of Burning Horn Evolute. Essentially, his skill, not GB restricted. When this unit is called out, Soul Blast 1, show opponent a grade 3 Overlord in your hand. If you do, you get to retire one of opponent's rear guards in the same column. Keyword, same column. Doesn't mean select, means within the same column only. I've seen plenty of people in a tournament recently fuck this up, where they try to retire my starter when they call this shit on the right side on the rear guard. Doesn't work. Oh, however, there's a second skill that's pretty broken. It's pretty much a GB1 skill. But if you have a grade 4 Vanguard with an Overlord in his name, this unit gains 2,000 for each card in your opponent's damage zone. So essentially, when your opponent has 5 cards in the damage zone, this gains in 10,000. So it's a 19k beat stick. Moving on. A playset of the Glow Heated Dragon. At the beginning, some people were wondering, why is this good? Why would we run this? Well, you simpleton, because when this gets called on a Vanguard or rear guard, oh, that's not really important, but this card becomes a 20k beat stick if your opponent has a fucking 5 cards in the damage zone. Just like the Evolute, this gains 2,000 for every card in your opponent's damage zone. Meaning, when you give a free damage to your opponent with Purge, this baby gains 2,000 every fucking time. It is continuous, meaning at any fucking point of your opponent taking a damage, this gains 2,000 every fucking time. So, like, you can have one over here. Let's say your opponent is at 3 damage in. Take this one, they don't guard this shit. This gains fucking another 2,000, meaning this becomes an 18k beat stick. Oh yeah. Oh, so first skill, it's kind of important to keep in mind. When this calls to the Vanguard circle or rear guard, you either show a grade 3 Overlord in your hand, or your Vanguard has to have the word with the word Overlord in its name. Otherwise, this loses 5,000 attack, meaning this can become a 5k grade 2 unit. You don't want that shit. It'd be like Ninian all over again. Last but not least, I still run a playset of Nahalam. Nahalam is big, no matter how you say it. Look, you can ride into this baby so you can save these other 2 babies, right? Or you just happen to have only this card in your stride. You call this, you have 1 card, and this right here is all you got. Doesn't matter, because this bitch alone is a 16k beat stick, GB1 skill. When you have a Vanguard with an Overlord in its name, this gains 2,000. And if you're fucking grade 4 or greater Vanguard attacks, this gains an additional 5,000. Meaning, just by having this unit out with the Vanguard Overlord in his name, he gains 2,000. And let's say you fucking went wham, attack with the Vanguard. This gains 5,000, 16,000. Get a trigger, boom, drop it on this bitch. They PG that shit, doesn't matter. Stack, 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 stack. Next thing you know, this is 21k and above with an extra crit. What are they gonna do? Nothing. They're gonna just die. Burn, bitch, burn. Anyways, moving on to grade 3. We got a playset of the Legend. Now I know, you filthy mom girls. You might be saying, Klaus, why you run the inferior grade 3 Overlord? Why don't you run the Legion? The Legion's better. No, you fucktard. Legion is not necessarily better. No, well, Legion works because, if you go Drachma and you fail, then you still have something fall back on. Well, if you use a Drachma and Overlord and you did not win, then you're not playing that card right, nor are you playing this deck right. That means you probably should just sell your cards on eBay or to me for underpriced and quit Vanguard because you don't know how to play it. Look, this card is better because of multiple reasons. Let's say you don't have fucking Destiny, okay? That means you're shut out luck. But you still had this piece of shit, and you didn't have Conroe whatever beforehand to show this and get Destiny. Whatever the fucking reason is. Point being is you only have this piece of shit. Well, you ride into this shit, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, and guess what? You look at top 5 fucking cards, look for a Flame Dragon. So that means you could look for this, you can look for Stride Fodder, you can look for a whole bunch of other ass crap. Not to mention, if you top deck draw this shit, or if you stride assisted and got this shit, it still means you could still stride as long as you do the auto skill the second this piece of shit hits that great Vanguard circle. You use the cost, you do all that shit, and if you top deck draw any of these Flame Dragon babies, you can still stride. You see, you simple mongrel. There's so many things you can do with this shit. Meanwhile, the Legion, yeah, it's a 22k beat stick. Yeah, once you're Legion, you can look for a grade 3, one way or another, and you can technically do Drogma with that skill, or retire 2 units, or restand it, or whatever. Point being is, doesn't matter. You want to stride. This is more safer. This is more aggro. This is smarter. If you want to argue with me, see me right now, bruh. See me right now. That's what I thought. Anyways, last but not least, it is your destiny to get this card and fuck shit up. Destiny is the most broken shit grade 3 you can get currently right now. I say currently because I know Bushiroad loves goddamn Gear Chronicles and will fucking bend that shit up and make it more OP. This bitch, upon stride and beginning of the right phase, Soul Blast 1, pop a circle, not a unit, on any field and retire it. The reason I pointed out the circle in any field is because this bitch can get around resist, can get around locked units, and all the above. What I mean by that, let's see. You have a resist grade 2 unit, I don't know, like Gold Paladin has one, every client has one. I can retire that because it doesn't say choose a unit, it says target the circle, so burn it up. And little nifty trick for you to know if you're playing against Link Chokers, this bitch, you can burn your own fucking circle. Meaning, alright, let's say I'm in my Destiny, because Destiny is bae. And fucking Link Joker over there, let's say Messiah or CBD was like, place a unit in the circle so you can't attack with that shit. Well, I say, fuck you, sir. Soul Blast 1, burn this bitch up. Oh, hey, open circle. Huh. Call shit out. What's up, bitch? And you fuck shit up. Anyways, digress. Second skill. When a unit strides onto this, doesn't have to be an Overlord stride. It can be any stride. As long as a fucking G unit hits this fucking circle, you Counterblast 1, burn one of your opponent's unit, look at top 7 guards, not unit, rear guards. Look at top 7 cards. Look for an Overlord fucking card. Now, why does that matter? Why does that matter, you might ask? Well, you simple-minded fucks. That leads into stride zones and also ultimate strides. Now, which is a good segment to our fucking cards in the G zone. Alright, speaking of this stride, this is why. This. The Purge. Oh my god. Oh god, Bushiroad, you gave this so much OP power, but you nerfed the shit out of Dust. How come Dust upon damage, you can still trigger damage checks, which is stupid. Anyways, Purge skill. Act skill. So you show a grade 3, put it into the soul, as long as it's an Overlord, and you flip a G unit in your G zone, you deal 1 damage to your opponent. Triggers are nullified, meaning if they draw a heal trigger from this damage, it's not gonna happen. They gotta draw, not gonna happen. Crit, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the fuck you draw at this point. Just go to the damage zone for free. Yeah, which means it's soul charging for his first skill, but you also get it from his second skill. So meaning you get to burn units out the ass continuously every turn. Now comes the GB3 second skill of the Purge. It is the most beautiful thing. You get to do the damage check equal to the amount of cards in your opponent's damage zone. Meaning, if they have literally 2 damage for some odd reason and you're in GB3, then you're fucking retarded. But also means you only get to double check. But if they're in 5 damages, if they're in 5 damage, in the 5 cards in the damage zone, you're doing quintet drive check. And if you're doing tag team battle and there are fucking 8 cards in their damage zone shared, your bitch ass is gonna do 8 drive checks from 1 fucking attack. Fuck is this bullshit? Too strong, bruh. Too strong. Nerf blocks. Moving on. 1 Sea Breeze. I mean, because Sea Breeze is bae, you just kind of have to run Sea Breeze. And then 3 Ace. Okay, we talked about this in discussion. The Ace comes in handy in multiple ways. It can be used as a first turn stride. It can be used as whatever other stride. Reason being is his skill is not once per turn on the X skill, which is Counterblast 2 and choose 1 card face up with the same name and flip it. And this unit gains the, discard 1 card from hand and discard another card with an Overlord card in his name. At the end of the battle, this unit attack the Vanguard. You may pay the cost. If you do, restand this unit and gains additional 5,000 until end of the turn. Now, the resending part is once per turn. However, the reason why the other part is not once per turn, and that's a key important thing you need to realize, is this alone can get you to GB3 a lot faster. So you ride this, activate skill, Counterblast 2, pop this shit, and then the red text is not included. However, it gets the -2 drive at that point still. And then you activate again, flip it again, and then only then it gains the restand ability. And keep in mind, if you use Conroe, this will make up for it because you're going to counter charge twice. Alright, moving on again to the next stride. Zone 1 cards. 3 second burn. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, why not 4? Because you don't really need 4, man. Like, shit, what the fuck you asking me? Why am I not running 4? Look, his skill is fucking free in Overlord. Alright, listen up. You get to Soul Blast 1 for beginning the turn, beginning right phase, and then upon strike, you get to burn another fucking unit. You're gonna burn his entire unit. And if you chain this shit correctly, that critical trigger that we showed you earlier, if you prop that, burn a column all at the same time. So, essentially, when you start into Ziegenberg, your opponent should not have any rear guards if you're playing this deck even remotely correctly. Which means now, when this attacks, you only counterblast because you burn out from your hand the equal amount of cards from your hand to the equal amount of units on your opponent's rear guard. Since there will be none, you only counterblast, and this shit will restand with -2 drive check, but still can attack like a beat stick. His first skill is Soul Blast 1, Persona Flip, burn a unit on the opponent's side of the field, but you're not going to need it. And most of the times, if you go Ziegenberg even once, you're going to win that game. Moving on. GB8, he's kind of relevant in my opinion, because if you're playing this deck correctly, you don't even need to go to GB8. You finish it up before GB4, GB5, like GB5 at the latest, I think. But his skill is, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, retire all of your opponent's rear guards, and all of your rear guards gain 10,000 until end of the turn. If 3 or more units were retired, this unit gains 10,000 and then a fucking extra crit. So, eventually means this game becomes a 36K beat stick with the crit. Now, Defeat Flare, no question about it. Only useful for an Overlord, so you better fucking run it. Counterblast 1, shuffle back 2 Overlord cards from your drop zone to the deck, and then burn the entire back row. It means if they have resist or whatever, if they have resist, so tired, 3 in the morning. Resist, they can burn they're all gone. Doesn't matter what the fuck they are, gone. And then you can chain it out with the crit trigger, like I told you, I mentioned before. Perfect, get it done. Now, low-key MVP of Kagero decks right now is Atsalam, aka Bad Salami. His skill, Counterblast 1, this gains 10,000 for every open rearguard circle in your opponent's side. So this becomes a fucking, like, almost like a PG. You're not gonna get through that shit if you're playing this right still. And the MVP of the fucking Kagero G Guard selection is Denial Griffin. Essentially, Denial Griffin. When your opponent attacks with a rear guard, counterblast 1, you can burn that unit before the attack even goes through. So they can have a 99 billion from Bloom, not Zoa skill. But yeah, they have like fucking billion attack points. You use Denial Griffin, you pop that shit before the attack even happens, so it's gone. Oh, I forgot to mention, Defeat Flare, to mention this part is really important. Defeat Flare only works when your opponent's Vanguard is attacking your Vanguard. So keep that in mind. Oh, right. And you might be wondering, Klaus, that was only 16 G units. Where's the last one? Well, the last one is the Drachma. Well, Drachma isn't really a necessity in Overlord deck, in my opinion. It's better in Nuatama deck. But if you really want to, you can run Drachma. Drachma will be easy to get because of Destiny skill, the Soul Counterblast 1. Look for Overlord upon stride, so you're likely to get Destiny into your hand at one point or the other. So it's easy. Drachma skill, if you didn't know, it's upon hitting the Vanguard circle, you counterblast 2, and your opponent needs to choose 3 cards from their hand. Out of the 3, they discard 2 of them, ride 1 of them. So, meaning if you can remember what your opponent trigger checked and you know for a fact they don't have a grade 3, you ride this bitch, they can't G-guard. They can only PG and intercept, guard, whatever. Oh wait, they can't even intercept. I forgot to mention. All units on the field, including their soul, is destroyed and bound. No, some people are like, no, it doesn't happen. No, it's been clarified before on multiple times. Everything on the field is wiped. So essentially, they have to ride whatever is in their hand. That's why even in the episode, he rode into Liefeld. He rode into a grade 2 unit because that's all he had. Don't tell me it's not true, but yeah. Anyways, Drachma. And now, if you're wondering what you can put in instead of Drachma, if you can't afford this card, or if you never pulled it, my recommendation, you know what, to say fuck it. Put a 4th Purge in. You can just fuck shit up anyways. Or if you're pressed about the fucking 3 Ziegenberg, I guess you can put the 4th one in. But I would just put the 4th Purge in there and fuck shit up. But that's about it, you simple mongrels. Tier list, this is definitely tier 1 right now. Control decks are the meta right now. Meaning Chaos Breakers, fucking Kagero, Overlord specifically, are like your ideal fucking tier 1 decks. What's it weak against? Oh man, that's a good question. Mirror match, it kind of sucks. With ZTB, you can still beat it if, depending on the pilot, you can still lose to ZTB. Most of the Link Jokers would not be a problem. A lot. You will laugh in front of the clown. If you don't know who the clown is, it's Chaos Breaker. You can just laugh at them as they try to continuously put units on your front row so you can't attack multiple times. But you will, because Destiny is just that good. Honestly, probably going to get more Kagero support sometime in the summer, if I recall. But I will wait until the hype price dies down a little right now, because the way I have my deck set up, and including the foil or whatever, it's over $500 essentially. Even if you base it out, if you're running Protect Orb, that's still another like 400 or something like that. Minus Drachma, minus Protect Orb, you're somewhere looking between 300 to 400 still. It's a very expensive deck right now. So if you don't like playing it, sell it away while the hype is still there. If you're trying to get this, wait it out. The hype will die down, especially when Asha comes out. Yeah, this might be, this matchup against Blue Asha might not be great anymore, because Blue Asha is just that broken. But we'll see when the Blue Asha comes out. But that's about it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Sorry for bantering on like an old baboon at 3 a.m. in the morning. But I hope you enjoyed it. Learned a lot of things about Kagero Deck Profile and whatnot. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, you filthy animal. And give it a like. Click that like button and give it a thumbs up. Alright, peace, mongrels. Boom.